The mayor that has taken over New York City is a Muslim that's going to take down the city that never sleeps, the city of life's dreams, this city that our ancestors brought forth in prosperity and greatness and liberty.
Is Zohran Mamdani the new Donald Trump? What? King Leo, what are you even talking about? That makes no sense. They're so different. How could they be the new version of someone that is completely the opposite? Well, as always, if you'll let me explain as I sit here with you, you will come out with a better understanding. How is everyone doing today? It's a nice Florida evening. We're back in the 80s. Praise to the Lord. Praise the Lord. How's everyone doing today? Today, we have to talk about Zohran Mamdani. I actually have a clip coming out dealing with this subject from a stream that we did, but I think it's worth doing its own video. Is Zohran Mamdani the new Donald Trump? Are people, instead of getting TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, now getting the ZIDS, the Zohran derangement syndrome? I think the answer might be yes. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a great time. I have on my What Would Piers Morgan Do bracelet. See how to get one in the description. Not affiliated or endorsed by Piers Morgan at all. It's a parody bracelet. Like, comment, subscribe as always. Share the video. Do all the things that you need to do just to get this out of the way, dude, because so many peasants in the comments. This is some good Greek tobacco, all right? Why don't you grow up? Stop thinking everyone's smoking weed all the time. This country is pathetic. Everyone's always thinking that everyone's smoking weed. People can't even enjoy themselves. How's everyone doing? The reason I'm thinking about this, about Zohran derangement syndrome, or the ZIDS, as I like to call it, is because last week on stream we reviewed Jon Voight. Listen, before you hate Jon Voight, because he's been politically active in the recent years, he was in Heat, okay? He was in Deliverance. He gave us Angelina Jolie, quite literally, okay? He gave us Brad Pitt, all right? This is one of the great actors, all right? I don't like hating on James Woods or any of these guys, dude. Vince Vaughn, oh, they're great actors, all right? Great actors. Look, I put up with Sean Penn for years. All right? There are good actors out there that have dumb opinions sometimes, and that's okay. They're just actors, okay? So before you hate Jon Voight, just remember he was in Michael Mann's best movie, all right? After Thief. Maybe Thief is a little... No, Heat's better than Thief, all right? Jon Voight released this video, man, where he was so angry at Zohran Mamdani. He was saying that President Trump needed to step in and avoid the Islamic takeover of New York City. He was saying that Zohran's going to destroy the city and America, that he's bringing his jihadist, Islamist, communist crap into the country. And look, he's an old man, all right? Cut him some slack, okay? Look. This is not a normal reaction to a municipal election, okay? Think what you want. That's not normal. You should not be thinking about, especially if you don't live in New York. I think Jon Voight lives in Los Angeles, okay? James Wood lives in Los Angeles, and he was complaining about Zohran Mamdani. James Wood, why don't you go check on the status of your house that got burnt up in the Palisades fires? Why don't you focus on that instead of Zohran Mamdani? You don't live in New York, all right? But look, this great actor, man. This great actor, Heat, one of the best of all time, bro. Yeah, Heat. If you haven't seen Heat, what are you doing with your life, man? Go watch it in a movie theater. It's great. Look, he's out here thinking. He's out here making videos, hating on Zohran. Why is he doing this? And what does it remind you of? Well, it reminds me of TDS. Look, as you guys know, I'm not a supporter of anyone, dude. I'm a Baudrillardian, okay? I don't believe in Donald Trump. I don't believe in Zohran Mamdani. I don't believe in Android. I don't believe in Windows. I believe in America. That's all I believe in, okay? And look, speaking as a neutral observer, as someone, I did not like TDS. A lot of people will say, oh, TDS wasn't real. Dude, TDS was real. I remember during the first Trump term, it's not really this time around that much, but people would not stop talking about Trump, dude. You'd go into the coffee shop and everyone was talking about Trump all the time. And As someone who is a neutral observer, I was like, this is weird. Why are you talking about this so much? I get it. You're not happy with the guy, but there are other things to think about in the day. I don't think about Trump more than like 2 minutes a day if I think about him at all, okay? Trump is not my priority. TDS was a very annoying time to be an American because everyone was talking about Trump all the damn time, dude. You would think that nothing else was going on in the country. Look, now we have ZIDS. Now we have ZDS, all right? We have Zohran derangement syndrome. And I have a feeling that it's heading in the same direction where everyone is going to be talking about this guy all the time, following everything he's doing just to clown on him. I mean, just this weekend, I had to see Kevin O'Leary come out and say that Zohran's a failure, even though he's not mayor yet, because he hasn't delivered anything that's free. He's not the mayor yet, so I don't even understand how this is a valid critique. But Kevin O'Leary, dude, you're Canadian. Like, what are you even talking about? What do you care? I think Kevin O'Leary lives in Los Angeles too, or Miami. Why does he care about a municipal election in New York? It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to say what I said to people suffering from TDS, to people suffering from the ZIDS or ZDS, okay? If you're a straight man, which is John Voight, James Woods, Kevin O'Leary, bro, it's not normal to be thinking about a man all day. Like, I don't even think that's normal for gay guys, okay? I don't think gay guys spend all their time thinking about other men all day, okay? Why are you thinking about a man all day? That's a little odd. You shouldn't be thinking about a specific guy all day. It's giving a little sus, okay? And look, it's perfectly fine to be gay. Come out of the closet if that's really what you feel. But thinking about a guy that much, letting a guy take that much control of your mind, to me, that strikes me. Maybe it's just my low IQ Latino spick head, but I'm here like, this is a little sus. This is a little, dude, it's all right. It's 2025. We can have fun. And if you're a lady, dude, and you're thinking about a guy all day, I think you may kind of want him. I'm just saying. If you're thinking about a dude all day, that sounds to me like an elementary school crush or a high school crush. This is not normal. You might as well get a poster. You might as well get like you got, what were the bands when we were kids? Like a Big Time Rush poster. You might as well get a Zohran or a Trump poster because it seems like you're thinking about this guy a lot. And maybe there's some energy that you don't even consciously have that you're kind of attracted to the guy, all right? That would be my first bit of deprogramming, dude. If you're thinking about Zohran Mamdani all day and you're a straight guy like John Voight or James Woods, dude, it's okay to come out. Like, it's fine. There's no problem with that, all right? Kevin O'Leary, it's okay, dude. If you want to, live authentically, I think everyone would support it at this point, all right? It is not healthy to think about this all day, dude. This is a big problem with this debate culture, this politics culture that Charlie Kirk, rest in peace sincerely, played a big part in starting, okay? You should not be thinking about these people all day. I promise you this. Think of it this way. I promise you this. Trump and Zohran do not think about you at all. Dude, even if you love these guys, they do not think about you. They do not think about you individually. So why would you put out so much energy thinking about them? This is against self-preservation. This is against nature. It does not make sense. The thing is that you are very angry. It has to be that. It has to be like anger. Something inside of you is pissed off about these people getting elected. But at the end of the day, man, they're there. Life goes on. This is just a part of it. We have to put up with people we like and don't like in office. We have to put up with people we like and don't like in our workplace, in our marriages, in our relationships, in our families. I mean, this is a part of life. This is a part of life. I don't want to sound like the adult in the room. I don't feel like the adult in the room, as a Baudelardian. But dude, I think I'm being the adult in the room. Life is about accepting that sometimes things don't go your way. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And most of the times when things don't go your way, there's not catastrophic consequences. Maybe you have to put up with stuff you don't like, but that's about it. That's about it. It is not normal to be thinking about negative things all day. That's bad for your brain. Thinking about what Zohran Mamdani is going to do to make your life hell, even if you live in New York, is not going to stop anything that's coming. If you're really concerned about Zohran or Trump, dude, start making an exit plan. Start getting smart about it. Figure something out. Figure out maybe how you can even pose as someone who likes him so you don't get persecuted if that's your view. But this idea of constantly thinking about it and yelling about it on social media is not a great idea. It's not good for your brain. I think that we're all aware that your thoughts impact your way of being, like your mood, your life. And if your thoughts are constantly negative, and what really bothers me in this case is that, look, not to get too delusive here, these thoughts are not your own. These thoughts are being inserted in your head by the media, by the people themselves, Zohran and Trump. You are simply reacting. You are just an automaton. You might as well be. You spend all day reacting to stimuli. That does not make you a human being. That makes you a borderline sheep, a borderline cow. This is the behavior of cattle. You guys need to chill out. Look, if you hate these guys, if you really hate Trump, if you really hate Zohran, instead of complaining all day, you could actually do something about it. And I'm not advocating anything, extreme or anything, but there are ways of dealing with this stuff. You could start a political action committee. You could start a group. You could start a fucking book club. You could have fun around this. You don't have to be negative and thinking about it all the time in that way. It's all a reframe in your mind. That's a hypnotic term, reframing. But look, for example, the most common and successful reframe is for people in AA, where they tell them alcohol is poison. That's literally true. I mean, is it factual? Probably not. You don't die from drinking alcohol. But if you're an alcoholic, you need to think that way. And maybe if you are a ZDS-aholic or a TDS-aholic, you need to start thinking about it differently. Okay? I'm not going to give you the answers here. I'm not sure because I don't think about these guys all day. But for example, if I'm pissed off that Zohran Mamdani is mayor, maybe I can think about it another way. Maybe I can think about it, well, now I get to rebuild the Republican Party in New York. Now I get to castigate Andrew Cuomo for losing this election. Now I get to do something cool. Now I get to explore another city in New York. Now I get to revitalize Buffalo, which is a shithole. Now I get to revitalize Albany. Now I get to move across the country. Think about it like that. Why would you think about it in terms of the frame that the news media and that the people themselves are setting for you? And I don't even think they're setting. I don't think Trump is sitting around being like, how can I get everyone to be angry and thinking about me all the time? I think he's probably getting you to think about him all the time if you support him so that you can continue to support him. Zohran, same thing. But I don't think they're thinking, how can I make Kevin O'Leary so angry that he's constantly talking shit about me on CNBC? They're not thinking that. No one is thinking that. And all of these people, man, all these talking heads, the true judge of character is if you can keep a cool head when things are not going your way. Look at Bill Maher. Bill Maher's monologue this last week was so pathetic. It was like just hating on Zohran Mamdani, telling him that he's the future of the Republican Party because he's going to hand over wins to the Republican Party. Bill Maher has been wrong about practically everything, but he still can't exit his body, his mind, and just look at himself and say, dissociate and say, hey, maybe you're wrong. Maybe it's time to chill out. Maybe everything that I said has been inaccurate and not helpful to anyone. It has just made people crazier. But no, he won't do that. Obviously, he won't do that because he's paid to make you crazy. Dude, it's time, man. Like, it's the big 2025, dude. It's almost the big 2026. And if you spend all day, you as a man, all day thinking about another man, at this point, we need to start calling you sus, man. And as I said again, it's fine to be gay. I seriously have no problem with that. But I do get a little annoyed when you cloud it in politics. It's not politics. If you want to come out, just do it. But stop thinking about other men all day, if not, because that just means that your brain has been hijacked, that you're receiving thoughts from outside of you that are making you physically angry. Do you know what anger does to you, especially like an older man like Jon Voight? Do you know what it does to you? Anger, it gives you cancer. It gives you high blood pressure. It gives you diseases. This is a waste of energy. In fact, it's negative. It's negative. Don't do that to yourself, man. I'm really fascinated by this psychology where I really thought, look, the conservatives overdid it with the TDS thing. Like, they thought it was all a meme or funny. But now that we see ZDS, we see that everyone is susceptible to this in some way. I don't think I am, because I'm beyond this as a Baudrillardian, but everyone is susceptible to some sort of derangement syndrome. And seeing the rise of Zohran derangement syndrome, that's why I say he might be the new Trump, because it's going to be 4 or 6 years of constant talking shit about this guy. Why don't you let him cook? Why don't you let him try to do something? Maybe he completely fails. We don't even know. That goes to another point, which we might get into another video, but these people that keep saying that he's going to fail, that he's not going to do well, that New York is doomed, why would you ever wish something bad on other people? Why would you know, people live in New York, right? Why would you not wish that everything he says happens, that everything he's planning actually works? Why would you not do that? Why would you hope that he fails? People have to live there. Maybe you don't, but other people do. Same with Trump. People wanted him. Bill Maher said that Trump, it'd be good if he gave us a recession. This was in the first term. Do you know how disgusting that is to say? Do you know, people die in recessions. People get stressed. People commit suicide. People are in tough positions during recessions. For Bill Maher to come out and say he wanted a recession to get rid of Trump? No. This is psychosis. It is a derangement syndrome. And I don't like to see it. I don't like to see people do it. I don't want to talk about Zohran all day. I don't want to talk about Trump all day. I'll give you 5 minutes to bitch if you really want to bitch James Woods or Jon Voight. But Jon Voight, I want to see you do great movies or retire. James Woods, I want you to get a new house. I want to see your new Palisades house. Kevin O'Leary, I want to see a good Shark Tank deal. Come on, man. What are we doing here? How are our brightest minds across politics, media, acting, finance, spending all day? Look at Bill Ackman. He's an idiot in my view, but look at Bill Ackman. This guy is supposed to be a genius hedge fund manager, and all he does all day is bitch about Zohran Mamdani. Elon Musk, same thing with Trump now. I guess he's bitching about Zohran too. You're supposed to be a genius. You're supposed to take us to Mars. How do you have time for this if you're tweeting constantly about how these people are going to ruin America? Why don't you focus on building a goddamn rocket? What are we doing here? This is insane. This is an insane world to be in. I'm not telling you that you don't have a right to be angry. You have a right to be angry. Absolutely, I don't think it's productive, but you have a right to be angry. What I'm saying, though, is that thinking about this stuff all day, look at your kids, dude. Do you think Jon Voight's kids, do you think Angelina Jolie is happy that her dad is spending probably 2 hours shooting some anti-Zohran slop for Twitter? I think she would appreciate her dad around her grandchildren, okay? Brad Pitt, too. Maybe Jon Voight comes and talks to their grandchildren. And this extends below and above, man. If you're a working class person, if you're a normal person, let's say even you're poor, you should be focused on getting the bag. Don't let this Charlie Kirk mentality get in your head. You don't have to debate anyone. You don't have to fight with anyone. You're only responsible to yourself and your people. So why don't you focus on that? That's really all I have to say about it, man. I'm not happy to see the rise of another derangement syndrome, but I'm going to start calling them out, dude. Jon Voight, you got the ZIDS, bro. You've got the ZIDS. Hey, James Woods, Kevin O'Leary, you've got the ZIDS. You've got the ZIDS. That's it. You had the Zohran derangement syndrome. And I hope you overcome it. Maybe there's some medication. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe prednisone cures ZDS. Maybe prednisone cures ZDS. But you got to get either some meditation or on something that will fix this. Because it is not. We do, as Americans, do not deserve to have to put up with celebrities yelling about politicians for another 10 years. This is ridiculous. We've grown accustomed to it, but it's not normal. And with that, everybody, what do you think about ZIDS? Do you think that these people have ZIDS, or are they rational concerns? I really don't. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Consider picking up your What Would Piers Morgan Do bracelet, or What Would a Postmodernist Do bracelet, not endorsed or affiliated with Piers Morgan at all. It's completely a parody. Do not sue me. And with that, everybody, like, comment, subscribe. Consider joining the Patreon. I added another tier, which is just $5. Consider joining the Discord. The links are below. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Appreciate you.
Are you expecting a mass exodus out of New York? Not just the police, but everybody.
No, I'm expecting a massive inflow, and I'll tell you why. I just got back last night for the first time since the new mayor was elected, and I was expecting a free ride from the airport, didn't get it. I wanted a free dinner, didn't get it, and I couldn't believe they charged me for my hotel. He promised me free everything. Hasn't delivered yet. I'm monitoring the situation.